Hey guys, Unique was the one here. Welcome back to my channel. For a while I've had this anime on my watch list and I've finally finished the first season. So you've seen the title. Today we're going to focus on the top 10 most shocking moments of the Promised Neverland. This will be strictly in my opinion and not in any particular order. So this will actually include spoilers, so you can leave if you can't handle it. I personally don't appreciate spoilers, so I get it. So here's your fair warning. If you enjoy anime content, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an upload, and like the video if you enjoy, as this helps out a lot. Also make sure to comment on what you'd like to see, as sometimes suggested videos turn into the next upload, so feel free to do the same. Alright, on to the video. Alright, so the first one I wanted to talk to you guys about was Conny's death. The first shocker on our list. I was not exactly prepared to see her end like that, especially with her being just a child and all. To be honest, the show did give me a there's something up kind of a vibe, you know? It all seemed so innocent, but it seemed too innocent. So when Emma and Norman actually went back to give Conny her stuffed doll, thinking that she got adopted, when they actually found her, she was actually pushing up daisies with monsters surrounding them. But it's not even about the monsters. I mean, yeah, it was surprising to see them, but the shock value in that alone, the face that Conny had when they found her, that was intense. It was dark. It was like going in a tunnel. It was dark, sudden, and depending on where you are, cold. And the top of that shocker for me was really when their mom actually found the doll, and that actually leads me to the next point. The fact that they're actually living livestock, and the role that the mom plays. I get that she's their foster mom and all, but the fact that she is literally raising them in a scenario where these monsters that were there, that Emma and Norman witnessed, they were saying it was literally just a farm where these children are being raised to be sold like merchandise. So just imagine, you're thinking that you're living in a society where you're gonna get to grow up, eventually family's gonna adopt you, only to find out that those that were actually quote-unquote adopted were actually just killed and sold like meat. This was the anime farm animal, if you get what I mean. And what's surprising about this is also the role that the mother plays. Her being a part of this from the beginning, raising them for years, nurturing them, having them take on exams to showcase their intelligence, and apparently the more intelligent, the more valuable. Then with the fact that she's aware that some of them know what's going on, we get to see a little cat and mouse game playing out. A kind of a light Yagami to L happening between her and the kids. She keeps trying to find out who knows about this little sneaky operation going on, and during this mouse play we get the next shocker that comes after. It's that moment when we found out that they have trackers on them. Of course, it makes sense that the monsters would want to keep track of their merchandise. And that sounds so weird considering that we're talking about humans here, but yeah. They have trackers on them, and their mom has this thing that is like a Dragon Ball radar to track them down. So when the kids found out about this made it an actual game changer for Emma and the crew with their planning to escape and all. It made it much worse when she even got backup. And I'm talking about Sister Krone here. Sister Krone is a special case here. She talks to herself like Johnny 2x4 from Ed and Eddie. In fact, I wonder... No, that's not possible. Anyways, yeah, she talks to herself, or rather her doll, about everything. I mean, people like this, if you're a detective or have the nature of one, people like this make your work easy for you. Just stay by the door, literally, at any time that you suspect that they're thinking that they're alone, and she'll talk about all her plans, literally. She did that, literally. I mean, who does that? Can you imagine if Light from Death Note did that? He had his moments where he was talking, but it was never like that. He was always ahead of the game in that sense, you know? But she just started to blabber on once she was alone with her doll. I mean, literally, when she was with the kids, explaining, they actually had the younger ones listening in on what was going on to be convinced of what was happening. So, what I was saying actually came to pass in the anime anyways. You just have to go by the door, and you'll be able to learn everything. Anyways, it's not just her talking habit that was a concern. Her unexpected demise was as well. When she finds out about Isabella and that she didn't report what she found with the kids knowing what's going on, Krone wanted to cash in on this, and she literally got this chance to snitch, and she got a stitch. Snitches get stitches. And that joke was so corny. Anyways, that's putting it lightly. Turns out Isabella has full support in her planning, and shows a lesson that you're supposed to just do what you're supposed to do and just mind your own business when you have your job. That reminds me. I haven't made a lesson video in a while. Anyways, she had so much more potential for screen time. Rest in peace, Krone. Moving on. Next is when we found out about Ray actually being a snitch for years, and he knew of the operations all along. But it's not all bad, because Ray was actually planning on getting at least Emma and Norman out of there alive. Turns out that he's been working with her so he could snitch, spy, give his information in any intel he can find about anyone suspicious on the farm, so he could make sure that he could gather rewards, and the rewards that he actually got were all actually items that he could take one piece from each to create something that could ultimately nullify the effect of the ear trackers that they got. So his betrayal was more of a double agent kind of thing for their success. So next shocker was when we found out that Ray was the next one to be taken out after Krone. The mom literally told him that herself. Just considering the fact that he's provided years of service and loyalty, this was kind of a shock to me as well, but not as big as a shock as the next one. The next one being the fact that Norman was the one to be shipped out next. That one was pretty much a surprise. With all the planning that they had, Norman was an essential piece of the puzzle. So the fact that they were actually going to have to be without him was a big shocker to everyone. Everyone got emotional about this one. He was their leader, he was their friend, and you always see him and Ray basically arguing, but they were best friends too. So no one wanted to accept this in the least. They all wanted to find some way to make sure that they could have their boy saved. His level of thinking, it was exactly what they needed to escape. His IQ was so high that he was never caught when it came to playing tag. The only one that he really had as a rival was Ray, who always had perfect scores. Anyways, speaking of Ray, again, this guy deserves a lot of respect, and I'm speaking about his moral fortitude. When he puts his mind to something, he's really gonna do it. He'd rather save everyone with a brilliant plan, but in that plan, he didn't expect to survive, or plan to. The way he planned to save everyone was literally to start a house fire, with his own body as a distraction in that fire. He wanted to make sure that his own body was in that too, because he didn't want the monsters to have anything of value from his remains. So the shocker from this one is really the fact that Ray was willing to off himself for the greater good. Now that brings us to our next one. Norman's plan that actually worked. Sure, the plan was brilliant, don't get me wrong. How they planned to get all the kids that are above 5 years old to get out with them, even cutting off their ear with the tracker involved, getting the mom distracted long enough to escape with the fire as a distraction. Having this plan with even the younger ones and Ray not knowing anything of what's going on. This was Norman's plan in action, and he carried this out through Emma. But the biggest part of the plan, the biggest shocker of that plan I should say, the one that Ray even himself didn't see coming, was his being saved by Emma. Instead of going out as the hottest thing on the market, pun intended, as Norman planned, he was saved, and they got the others saved in on it too, just as Emma wished. Because Emma wanted to save everyone. Ray wanted to save Emma and Norman basically wanted to save who Emma wanted to save. So they got the best result for everyone. Emma got to save as much as she could through the planning of Norman, getting to escape and giving it time before saving the younger ones. Because, let's face it, how are you going to take care of 5-year-olds when you're not even past 13 yourself? And lastly, Ray being the son of Isabella. After seeing a flashback, we get to understand Isabella's life a lot more. From seeing her first love playing the melody that's actually a theme song throughout the anime, and that was pretty clever, to her trying to escape and giving up, to her being chosen as a mom, to her first child and humming that same melody, and finally to the revelation that Ray was actually her son all along. After she actually heard him humming the same melody, it actually struck her because she was wondering how he heard that, how he actually came to know it. And it turns out that he remembered from being in the womb, because the thing is, the average human has baby amnesia, where they don't remember anything from being in the womb to their younger baby years. But our boy Ray here, he remembers everything, or most of it at least, enough to be able to hum the melody exactly and to shock her, because apparently the moms actually give birth, and I think that these actually are the kids that are produced on the farms. So in a sense, they really are moms in definition. Anyways, the fact that Ray actually remembered it was the reason why he was really ahead of everyone, knowing what's going on, why he was the perfect spy. It was a big reveal to see that she was actually literally his mom. And seeing that flashback really served to do much justice to her character, and it really explained why she didn't pursue any further after getting to actually track where the kids went, and didn't actually report it at the end of the season 1 finale to say, okay, they went this way. Because they succeeded where she failed, trying to escape. That was her original plan. But ultimately she had to give in to the system because she wanted to survive. Just like when Ray asked her, why did you give birth to me? She said, to survive. If she could have chosen another way to live as Emma wanted to live, the way that she wanted to, she would have chosen it, but that wasn't something that she was capable of doing on her own. So it really gives us a better appreciation for her character, similar to how it gave us a better appreciation of Sister Krone, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad for this anime because it was very well put together, well paced for just 12 episodes. I'm glad I got to see it. And to me, those were my top 10 shocking moments in the anime. And with that being said, did you have any shocking moments that really stood out for you? What's your top 10? Comment below and let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to share a like, comment and let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy this kind of video? What would you like to see otherwise? Thanks so much for watching. This is Unique Wisdom 1, and I'll see you in the next one.